Well, got some insulation. It's a lot of insulation, but it is to do the whole house. I'm gonna see if I can figure out this dense packing thing in the walls. You guys can look it up, dense pack cellulose in the walls. But the basics of it is that you put up all the drywall as we already have, and you go all the way around and you cut a little 3 to 4 inch hole in the drywall, and you snake a hose up in there to blow your cellulose in behind the drywall so you can really pack it in nice and tight. And the goal is to get 3.5 pounds per cubic foot. So I went through and calculated, you know, based on the square foot of the wall. I took out for windows. I did not take out for header beams, but I took out for windows. And actually, on Home Depot's site, the manufacturer has an install specification sheet for this exact product, and they have an adjustment factor for 2x6 studs, 16 on center. So I did use the adjusted value. I don't know that that adjusted value necessarily accounts for, you know, having double studs around the windows or triple studs in the corners or stuff like that. But ultimately it came up with I needed to do the walls and the attic 18 inches deep. It said I needed 273 bundles to do the whole house like that. And we went with the full 288 just so we could get the pallet pricing, which you can see some of the pallets have odd numbers, but basically he figured it up as 6 pallets, and we wanted to do it by the pallet to make sure that it would get delivered out on flatbed trucks with a forklift. Because he said if you just do some odd number and you don't do it by the pallet, then it comes out in a box truck, and the guy on the box truck, all he has is a little Tommy gate and a hand truck, so he can't necessarily set it right there in front of the house where you want it. He's just going to want to throw it on the ground. So spend a little bit more. I'll blow the extra bags in the attic, no big deal. But anyway, I have no idea how quick this stuff's going to go in. I hope fast, because we've got this little green monster until 10 p.m. tonight, and it's already 7:15. So, oh, and of course I got to call in for a conference call to work in 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna get this stuff set up, and let me take you inside and show you what we'll be doing. Okay, so we're getting everything set up inside here. I had to go around and snap a chalk line at 4 feet. Ideally, you would have your panels at 4 feet on center, but since we have 9-foot ceilings, here they did like 2 feet, or you know, some weird combination. Anyway, so I had to snap a chalk line at 4 feet just so they have a nice level line to tape off. And then I've gone through with a 3-inch hole saw and cut my holes in each cavity. And so we're going to go around. I've got the chalk line snapped on the other walls. I've got my helpers here now, so they'll go around and start cutting holes. And we'll get these cut, and then we're going to have one guy on the blower and one guy feeding. So let me tinker with it a little bit until I feel like I'm good at it, and I'll show you what we're doing. So you can see we're upstairs now. Got all the holes cut downstairs. And I'm just going to show you here. You see how quick that goes on cutting holes anyway. But I'm cutting right in the joint, which is ideal because this drywall already has a taper to it. Those of you that have worked with drywall, it already has a taper on the edge to fit for the tape when they mud it. So hopefully it'll help them just mask over it that much more. But this is in the second bedroom, so same thing, just going all the way around the walls. We put fiberglass in that wall just because we had it. I'll probably come in here in the bathroom and put some dense pack right there in the wall. And then also in the master bedroom, between the master bedroom and the laundry room in this wall. So just for noise abatement, since we're gonna have the washer and dryer in here, obviously you don't need dense pack on our insulation on interior walls at all. But yeah, just for noise abatement. So anyway, we got my helpers downstairs. They're running the hopper for me, doing an excellent job. So I'm going to be cutting all these holes, and then I've got to go back and cut out up here for the exhaust fans in the bathroom, for this exhaust fan from here, and the exhaust fan for the bathroom. Actually, maybe I don't have to cut. I might be able to get over in the attic and install it from above. That'd be ideal, so I don't have to cut it. Anyway, that's what I'm working on, just trying to stay ahead of those guys. Okay, so we've got a few done, these first 2. We're starting to learn the process, and just like everybody else's videos, it's working. And so what we're watching for is, we're having a little bit of issue with blowback on the machine out there. It's wanting to blow the material back out at us. It's just a poor design on that hopper feeder. So we're having to keep it nice and packed full. Now what can happen is that hopper has a grate inside. If you pack it too tight, it can actually bridge off, and then you'll have airflow, but you won't have any product coming through your hose. And so we've rigged up a light outside. Can't see it. Just a little red, I got it right there against the wall. Rigged up a little floodlight right behind the hose so the guy outside can see the hose, and he can see if the product, if there's no product going through the hose, then he knows he's bridged off. If he sees the product starting to slow down, moving through the hose, then he knows the guy inside is about packed off and is done with the cavity. And same thing, the guy in here, we're watching right here on our hose, we can see the material going through. If material ceases to exist, we know the guy outside's packed off and he's not doing his job. We see it start to slow down, we know we need to back out. Some of the guys' videos, they say, oh, you hear the machine start whining. Ours isn't doing that. We're not hearing the machine bog down any at all. And I don't know, again, if that's just a weak machine, but I think that's all it is to it, because we're getting the same sort of effect. It doesn't feel like it's super tight in there, but definitely packing in okay. So we did this one, it didn't seem all that great. We're going back, we're gonna try to pack it tighter now that we've come out of it. We're gonna see if we can actually cut back down through it. But anyway, we're getting started on it. I'll try to get some action shots maybe as we're working, but just kind of reorganizing a couple things right now. We're thinking about maybe moving the machine inside because it is kind of windy outside, and we don't want product just blowing all over the place. But as long as we can keep it fed down into the machine, it doesn't blow it back out and then it doesn't blow around. So like I said, still kind of figuring it out right now, but so far the process itself is working. This isn't some fancy thing that only the pros know the tricks, because we're figuring it out and we've been at it for like 30 minutes. So y'all can do this too. Now let me show you guys how I flip the hose. Okay, so we're starting to fill up on this cavity. I'm watching my hose down here. Y'all can't see obviously, but I can see. And I'm seeing my insulation start to stop moving. You know, you see it blowing through the lines, and you'll see it just kind of start to slow down and stop. And so as it does, I just keep working my hose out a couple inches at a time. Keep going. And I'm about to jump to the next hole here. Get myself situated. Now when you get right up to the end, you want to hold your hose right here at the hole too. And the rag is just for a courtesy block. You're going to jump over the next hole. Run all the way down to the bottom as best you can. I'm tagging up the sewer line. There it goes. There we go. Go all the way down and pull back a little bit. I'm going to go all the way down until you tag the cell and then pull back. And when you fill in the bottom portion, you got to stick with it a little bit more, because it packs and wants to pack off right away. Once you flip to the top, you can actually let it blow in the top of the hole for a minute or two, because it kind of falls down around, it doesn't pack off as fast. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound or not. Air, because my guy feeding my hopper has let the hopper run empty. I don't know what he's doing. He's not sending me any insulation, it's just air. That's how I know I don't have a plug. There's two things that will happen. Your insulation will stop flowing, either from a plug or from a lack of material into the hopper. So, there it comes. Now he started feeding again. For us, we had a little bit of issue with plugging right here at our adapter. You guys can see the adapter there on the floor. Yeah. Our adapter packed off on us a couple times. It's not too hard to fix. You just take an impact and zip that ring off real quick and just let it blow the plug clean and plug it back in. I don't even shut the machine down. I found on a lot of operations like this, you shut the machine down, it's hard to get it going again. Not insulation in particular, but just when you're working, if you can find ways to work efficiently and never shut that machine off, it seems like if you shut the machine off, people just kind of want to stand around and talk about it. So I try to keep that machine going all the time. Alright, so we're working our way out on the bottom on this one. And you see my hose relaxes, that's how I know I'm right here in front of me. It's not going to flip, not up the top. It's the same thing, you run all the way to the top, tag, pull back. And that's it. And then we fill our way out from the top and we'll jump to the next hole. Well, we're up in the attic now. And it ain't a whole lot better. I've been getting pretty frustrated with this little machine actually. I didn't really show it, you know, when I was showing the hose and the wall part, but I'm pretty skeptical as to what density I really got in the walls. Now, I don't discredit or doubt the ability of the insulation to pack that well. I mean, all the other videos of the pros doing it, you know, are undeniable, but the machine that we have is not really designed to do it. It just doesn't have the guts to do it. So I think I calculated that I needed, something like 120 bags for the walls, and I don't know, we maybe used 80. I don't know, it just, anyway, you can see, I mean, it's just a good steady flow. We're keeping that hopper going, but up here in the attic we're shooting for 18 inches blown. It'll settle at 16, and that's supposed to be an R60 at 75 degrees mean temperature, which, I mean, down here it's going to be 75 in the attic year round, so we probably aren't going to see that good. You know, it's going to be 100, 120 a lot of times up here in the attic, so anyway, it's whatever. But we've been at it now for several hours, and we've just gotten this little bit in here done. What I'm doing, I'm actually just letting it just blow in a big pile, and then I'm grabbing a broom and just shoving it out to spread it, so that way I'm able to work downstairs and still kind of keep things going elsewhere while it's piling up here. It's just not enough feed rate to keep somebody busy standing up here guiding the hose. So that's working out, I guess, but it's really annoying because it's taking way too long.